One gets bigger than the other.
And let me ask, so on that note, but you would think it's kind of compression gear.
Correct.
Wouldn't it push it out of there?
Yeah, but it can't go up to the upper parts of the body too.
How come?
Because usually they're wearing them so tight.
Oh, yeah.
It's pinched off.
Ah.
Yeah.
I wear compression socks.
Yeah.
A lot.
That works, but at the top they need to be open so it doesn't, bottleneck it.
Yeah.
You want to, create something that doesn't create a choke or a tourniquet that doesn't let it flow past.
Yes.
So think of the police officer with the tight gun belt sitting in the car all day.
Wow.
Their lymph is immobile. So if they don't do something after shift to get that moving, they're not going to get smaller. There's no way.
There's no way.
Yeah. And most people, if their food sensitivity's off or their lymph's not moving, there'll be 10 extra pounds of liquid in them.
Yeah.
Totally.
All liquid.
Yeah. It's lymph that hadn't been sweated out.
And now lymph, let's talk about the ways that it gets out of the body. I know you can sweat it.
Breathe it, sweat it.
Breathe it, perspire, and defecation, right?
Yeah, of course. Any of your, you're expelling, you're peeing or using the bathroom. But your major way is sweat and breath.
Sweat and breath.
Breath, yeah.
Breath.
Yeah, that's where, if you're burning fat, most fat goes out through your breath.
Really?
Yeah. That's why they do a VO2 max test. They want to see when it changes into fat burning.
Okay.
That's what that is.
I didn't know that
yeah,
either.
Most of it is through exhalation.
And so in order to get it, the lymph fluid, the best chance of getting out of your system, like you said, I'm going to reiterate this, folks, is you got to get it up there.
Correct. Yeah, you've got to get it from where it's pooling. And that's either elevation or compression or massage or working out does it.
Yeah.
When you tighten your
moving,
muscles, you're actually compressing.
And pushing it out.
Correct. It's pushing it up to a larger gland. Yeah.
And then cold. I didn't know
cold. Yeah.
that the freezing cold was good for lymph movement.
Oh, yeah. It's incredible for it. Because think of when you do a cold plunge, you don't want to do it slowly.
Right. You
want the immediate shock up to your neck, or your shoulders.
Yeah.
And it compresses all of those at one time. So there's no better way to move lymph than a cold plunge.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so cold plunge or cryo, what happens, folks, is you have an immediate vasoconstriction response. Vasoconstriction means the blood vessels go, and the reason it does that is to save your life because then it pushes it all to your core.
Correct.
So the reason you have a vasoconstriction response when you're freezing cold, and I'll reiterate that again, is that the human body defends itself because it'll send the blood to the actual core to save your organs.
Yeah. Same thing when you're under stress. That's why your dexterity gets worse. That's why you get tunnel vision. And that's when you're training guys for combat, you got to chill them out because the vasoconstriction will cause them to look through a straw instead of seeing, with peripheral vision.
Yeah.
So it's the same stuff. It's survival. But
it's a fight or flight response of the human body.
Yeah. Well, it's survival. Yeah. You've got to do that because if not, you're not focusing on the problem.
It's crazy.
Oh yeah. No, it's daily detox. You do this stuff. And if you're in the cold plunge or the chamber there for 3 or 5 minutes, you're getting a slow release dopamine too.
Oh yeah.
So your mood's going to be better.
Dopamine, serotonin.
All your vessels are getting exercised. So there's a lot less chance of plaquing or some type of aneurysm where you have brittle vessels because you're actually exercising all of your tubes at one time.
At one time.
Yeah.
And the same thing pretty much goes with sauna.
Correct.
Because
sauna, the other direction.
Sauna's the opposite.
Yeah.
Vasodilation in the sauna, and I always tell people to kind of look at this like when you go to a gym, you work out your muscles. When you go into a sauna, you're basically working out your blood vessels because they're expanding. They're getting wider.
Correct.
And they're getting wider to save your life once again from overheating.
Correct.
To get blood to travel more freely through the body and to push sweat out.
Yeah.
To get the heat out of your body.
Yeah, there's plenty of studies showing that swing from hot to cold and cold to hot is critical.
Critical.
Because comfort kills.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to get in better shape doing less.
Correct.
There's no way. First time I did real sauna, I was up in Minnesota with an Army buddy, and we're in there with 3 generations of naked Minnesotans, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. And then all of a sudden, they all go outside and roll in the snow, and then they come back in, and I'm like, there's no way, not doing it. Well, had I known better, that's exactly what you should do.
Wow.
So they've been doing it forever.
So let's go through that. Because I go to a place, a big shout out to Breathe Degrees. Did you?
Oh, I've read about that. Yeah, I haven't been to it yet.
So I interviewed the owner of that, Tyler Forbes, in Carlsbad. I interviewed him in my podcast. The location, the business is in Carlsbad. How long are you in town for again? By the way,
one more month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. So go there.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
I bookmarked it. I just
In
never
fact,
went.
maybe let's see me and you we'll book a schedule to go there because I haven't been there in a while because it's so far up north, but I want to go. The breathing is phenomenal. Have you done Wim Hof before?
Oh yeah, of course.
So Wim Hof breathing, folks, is where you're taking a huge deep breath from your belly to your upper chest, and then you do this whole breathing thing with Breathe Degrees, again, Carlsbad, and you do about 45 minutes of a breathing workshop. It's unbelievable. I can't even explain it verbally.
Yeah, it's quite meditative, but you can also get to the point where you're creating DMT also.
And explain that.
Well, on the street, it's a drug.
Yeah, right.
But you can create DMT, via ayahuasca or ibogaine or DMT itself.
Yep.
For that, it kind of opens up your pineal gland.
And it's unbelievable how you feel when your body's fully oxygenated. So, and I'll say this while we're on the topic, because the big myth is people say, "Oh, I eat this organic." No, I'm sorry, this what's the water, the pH level, the alkaline
nitrogen,
alkaline water, alkaline food, and that's how you get your body alkaline. That's a bunch of crap.
Yeah, no.
The only thing on planet Earth that will actually make your body alkaline is oxygen.
Yeah,
it's oxygen.
That's why I was going to the hyperbaric chambers next door.
Yeah, and they prove it when we go to the Wim Hof place. Back, they don't do it anymore, but when he first started, we'd actually pee on a little pH stick before you'd start breathing, and you have a little bit of yellowish in there. Yellowish means it's like kind of acidic. Yellowish or orange means the blood's acidic, and then we'd come out 45 minutes later from the breathing workshop, Wim Hof breathing, and it would be green. It'd be completely alkaline, our blood.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
And I never knew that.
Yeah.
So what happens is you go up there and then you go right from doing the breathing workshop and you go into a cold plunge together. So they have a cold plunge up there.
Yeah.
So you sit in the cold plunge with about 8 to 10 other people. The reason he does that because he said no other way to grow in life than to struggle with other people.
Oh yeah, it's community. Yeah.
Community. So let's put it on the schedule.
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, I've been meaning to. I have no excuse.
I don't either.
Done it.
I mean, I'm super busy.
Yeah.
But I can make the time. I can make it happen.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do it. All right, let's keep going here, man. I love this. What was it? Sauna. I wanted to hit on something else. Was it the sauna? I don't remember. We'll come back to it.
Yeah.
But so your book. Let's keep going with the book here. So I didn't actually because I know you gave it to me last week, but I haven't. I don't read anymore.
Yeah, there's no pictures.
There's no picture.
Yeah.
You're right. There's no picture and there's no audiobook yet.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. I'm an audiobook guy right now in my life. But let's talk because I didn't realize that this is a lot of the stuff that we're talking about is in this book.
Oh yeah, it all is.
It all is.
Yeah.
And so tell me about that because this is specifically, towards veterans and military guys making the transition, but everybody needs this.
Oh, everybody needs it. Yeah. And kind of what I wanted to do, I wanted to write a reference book previous to me writing what I've had to go through with myself and other people.
Yeah. Yeah. Where did this stem from?
Well, I mean, everybody has their own struggles.
Yeah.
And I had some really good mentors that kind of led me down this road to how to deal with it yourself to a point before you have to ask somebody for help.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, with the TBIs we have, I'm here for TBI treatments. That's why I'm in San Diego right
Explain TBI.
Traumatic brain injuries, too many explosive breaches. And that really down the road, years later, really screws with your brain. Brain fog, hard speech, memory's a joke.
Yep.
And it was just getting so bad years ago that I'm like, we got to do something about this. And one of my good clients sent me to San Francisco to her neurological doctor, and he explained it all. He goes, you can't fix your neurology yourself.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way.
Right.
So he started a protocol of many of these things. And you got to routinely do it to maintain, your personal sanity. If you've been breached that many times or you have mold or you have Lyme disease or who knows what you're battling, all the detoxing only helps every one of those.
Every one of them.
Every one, yeah.
And what's the importance? Let's go into what you just said. The importance of doing this regularly. Because we have people that come in here and they'll say, well, I'm just going to join for a month.
No.
And I'm like,
no.
Why? Well, I want to see if it works.
Things that you do every day make or break your longevity.
Correct.
And how healthy you are. If you only treat cancer once you get it, I feel that's pretty foolish.
Yeah.
I started the cancer research years ago when my daughter at 1 was diagnosed with retinoblastoma, which is an eye cancer, which is very horrible. So I didn't know anything about cancer at the time. So I did a big deep dive in that, and I pretty much Finland does all these things, and they have an incredibly low cancer risk. So I'm like,
Go into this.
clean air, clean water, clean food, hot, cold, exercise. You do those things, your chances of getting sick are pretty low.
Yeah.
And there's a point, hers was genetic, but most cancers aren't genetic.
Correct.
They're lifestyle.
That's
You're-
right.
You're lazy.
Yeah.
Or you haven't detoxed the chemicals from you, the heavy metals. And every vet is eat up with heavy metals or chemical exposure. And it takes years of chelation, if you do it right, to get that out of your system.
Yeah.